So this is going to be a test with this mic. So that hammer mic connected to the DJI Mic 2. I haven't worn that neck buff, so there will be a load of noise going into the jacket, into the neckline. So will that destroy this audio? So I suppose that's going to be the intents and purposes of this test. It's not even going to be a little test actually. We're riding up to Carl and Angie's, so that's 25 minutes. By then I'll know for certain how good or bad this audio will be. So I would have synced it to the camera now on there, so I might as well just do a test run with this new position for the camera as well. So that's why I'm recording this on the Osmo Action 3. It's slightly raining, very humid, only 23.5 degrees centigrade on the bike. Don't know where Catherine is. Oh, she's behind me there. Oh, so I've also got the visor up just a tad, so that's going to bring in a lot more audio, I would have thought, but that's to clear the visor. So I'm just going to do a load of talking whilst I'm travelling. We haven't synced our headsets together because I've reset mine, which means I need to reintroduce Catherine into my group or vice versa, so we haven't bothered. We're just getting off. So very, very, very fine rain at the moment, which is good. Hopefully there's no more. We seem to be heading towards mixed skies anyhow. So my visor is fogging up a little bit. Oh, come on, you kids. A guy just reversed out or pulled out onto the road in a minibus, really slow. The other driver before me was riding really slow. Catherine's now overtaken, which I will. Honestly, we've been going now about 3 minutes and already come across some kids on the road who can't drive. Perth drivers are utter crap. You'd think I'd have been used to it by now. They still wind me up. So I'm just going to talk at a level that I would normally, I think, speak at. I think of late I have actually spoken quietly to try and not spike out or clip the audio. So that was on that the Zoom F2, and that seemed to clip a little bit. With this recording, it does seem to record quieter. I actually have to increase a positive about 10 decibels increase. I think it's decibels anyhow, looks like it, just to make it sound appropriately for YouTube, which isn't such a bad thing. So I do know that this is recording quieter. The darker skies are behind us, and we are definitely going to slightly brighter skies. Okay, so there's a little bit of a breeze, so at some point I would have thought, especially once we get to the ocean side, up the coast road, we'll be getting a bit of wind blast, and that's what I do want. It's actually behind us at the moment, so obviously I'm protecting the mic as such from that. The actual placement of this mic is almost in the front of my mouth. It's a directional mic, I believe, omnidirectional. So I think that means it will actually pick up ambient sounds as well. Mildly putting it. So far, from my experience, I would say this audio is pretty much perfect. Just picking up a little bit of speed, getting a little bit of wind onto my chest. I can hear the wind, so is that now getting picked up into the helmet and on the mic. So as for audio levels for this, I reckon I'm pretty much perfect really. As mentioned previously, I will actually have to increase the volume. This is more so for how much let's say badge noise gets into the mic. I'm holding the bike at 4,600 revs at 75 kilometers an hour and gear 3. So if that sounded alright, then happy days really. So very closely getting to our turn right at Trig roundabout, and hopefully we experience a little bit of wind. You can pull back, mate. An idiot. Can't see me indicating here, look. Wed. So honestly, harmless. So another incident. So a person just right on my end, wanting to bypass me as the two lanes turn into one, and I'm indicating and looking to pull over, and he's right on my end. So that's why I was a bit verbal. What a clueless. Don't know how they get their licenses. They bitch and moan when they're learning. I can't do it, it's too hard. We're making it too hard. And then they have a bitch and a moan to the mum or the dad. Little Johnny's a perfect driver and he can't pass his test. He's had 4 attempts now and failed each time. I think it's money revenue, this. No, little Johnny is at driving and he can't pass a basic easy driving test. That's the facts. I don't know if on camera we could see kid behind us. Possibly not. Maybe, but unbelievable. It's hardly a very nice summer ride, this. It's been very cloudy over this weekend and it's been quite cool really for summer, for a summer's day. I think no more than 26 degrees. Day before, on Friday, as in day before yesterday, was Saturday. Very confusing, I know. 2 days ago basically was Friday, and it was 38 degrees and obviously hot and sunny. So this weekend has been very overcast and very cool, quite humid as well. What time are we on? So we're due to get to Carl's for around 3:30, I said. It's now nearly 15:15. We should hopefully make that in time. I think Carl was saying they're going out again early evening. I assume they're going out for dinner. So we don't want to be keeping them too long. Catherine's picking up her spectacles she left behind from the last visit to Carl and Angie's. And we've also bought Sid a treat. A bag of treats. Providor treats. I don't know what flavour they are actually. I have a feeling they're the fish and oyster one. Not sure. There's a venison and lamb one, I think, and then is it salmon and oyster? I don't know. He's in for a treat, literally. Training treats. What am I like for fuel? 148 kilometres. Okay. I think that'll get us to Carl and back. It's only up the road. I've done plenty enough rambling. This would be obviously by now, I'd have known. I mean, the wind's blowing into me now. There's a few blasts of air. If it's not being picked up that much, then that's not bad. I'd have liked to have picked up a little bit more speed, but then again, you can't on this road. This road we're on is 50-kilometre speed limit, so fairly slow. What's that, about 38 miles an hour? Maybe a tad over, 40 miles an hour. So 53 at third gear. The bike is humming to some point, to some degree. Can you hear that? Right, I'm actually going to do a test now and pick up the visor, get the visor up and see what that sounds like. Alright, so obviously the ambience of the actual voice of mine will sound different, but how much wind is disturbing this audio? I know now as I'm listening to it. When I'm in the studio, that is. He's turning left but turning right. Nice one. He's now turning left onto the road again. The visors look good actually. Me and Catherine have the same helmet. The Shoei's RYD, the Ride. 5-star safety rating, so they're supposed to be very good for safety. She's got her visor down, it looks nice and black. Burnt orange in colour, as you can see mine obviously. And they're very good helmets. Pretty much all helmets allow some wind into the helmet, especially if you've got the vents open. I tend to not ride with my vents open, principally because when it's so hot, what's the point of having a vent open to try and cool your head when all you're doing is putting a hairdryer's worth of temperature on top of your napper through your helmet? So not good. If it was cooler, so if you're getting cooler air coming through and you wanted a bit of fresher air coming through into your helmet, fine, get your visor up. But for cooling, anything above sort of 30 degrees to me, pointless. So I'm getting knocked around a little bit with the wind here. It's blasting either way, left and right. Has it destroyed the audio via this hammer? H-A-M-A. It's a laptop mic actually, so for your Zoom chats and your Teams meetings and all the rest, that's what this type of laptop mic is for. But it's actually very good for motor vlogging. So I'm reintroducing this mic if it works well. I did forget that neck buff. I have mentioned that, I do know. So if the audio is good without the neck buff, then with the neck buff it should be near to perfect. Alright, well, we're just touching on to Hillary's now and we are 20 past 3. It would have been nice actually to have our helmets, the Cardo units, paired together, me and Catherine's. I could have then got her audio on this little test video as well, just to check what it's like through the Cardo app recording. I think I've only done a couple of tests on that. One was very good, one was not so good. So early impressions was that it's fairly temperamental. It could have been other dynamics affecting it at the time. I did have my iPhone synced to the headset, which then both were synced to the bike, to the Triumph app, which I no longer do anymore. So keep it simple. That's my ambition at the moment for my vlogging. And simple setup for the mic and video, and then simple setups for connections. No complications. And even though we live in a lovely place, when the weather's not so good, don't look so good. That screen of mine there seems to be doing a decent job. You get used to things. I reckon I would have been buffered around a lot more by the wind. Not that it's that windy today, but I can't say when it has been windy that I've actually felt a lot of the wind buffering. It was alright really on the old windshield as well. For my helmet it wasn't too bad. It was more so for my shoulders. With the Triumph standard screen, it was quite a bit of turbulence here, and in cooler air I was getting cold on my shoulders. I don't tend to feel that anymore, so if it provides that protection, especially when it's cooler in the winter time, then I'll be well happy with that. I can't remember how much I paid for this off the top of my head. I think around about 250 to 270, something like that. I think had to buy it from Italy. Nobody was supplying that, or could be purchased in Australia. So when I had troubles actually installing it, because I didn't quite get it right the first time I installed it. I emailed the Australian supplier and just said, just can you give us a couple of tips if there's any issues with this particular windshield, or I think I've done something wrong, can you point me in the right direction? And he came back with quite a email saying that, well, you bought it elsewhere in Europe, didn't you? That's what you get for not buying in Australia. I thought that was quite juvenile, so I won't be buying anything from him in the future. Not that I'm in the market for buying many screens. This will last its duration, its life, for me anyhow, for this thing. 24 minutes past now. Now, if this has been possibly destroyed, it doesn't matter, this is a test video, but if all this has been destroyed, at least I know I can't put the visor up with this particular setup. If it's not bad, then good. I do have that slight protection of having that wind neckerchief on, which I have hastily forgotten on my way out. If that doesn't work, then I know obviously it's not a good mic as such for visor up. But visor down, back to visor down, and this will sound, I reckon, I'm not going to say perfectly, but it'll sound pretty good, I reckon. Getting a fair bit of blast now. Now we're more exposed, there's less trees on the dunes, it's just bushy. So it's definitely, now I'm getting smacked around a bit. Travelling at 70 kilometers an hour, there's a definite wind shift as well, it's quite strong. So all I have now is just the mic, and as a protector, just the chin guard, chin screen, chin curtain, that's it. I've just got the chin curtain as a protector from the wind. So what does that sound like? I can use noise reduction in Final Cut Pro. That does a really good job. So that will help. That'll go somewhere towards knocking out some of that wind. But then again, it knocks out the ambient sounds of the motorbike and people as you pass by, etc. Other motor vehicles. Alright, so we're on a 40 zone now. I'm travelling 32, 31. Just going through Mullaloo now. Been to that pub here, Mullaloo Beach Hotel. The food is quite good there. Not bad. I think we've gone twice, we've dined twice as far as I'm aware. And I'm trying to think back as to when we last dined. It'll be at least, now, was it before COVID or after? Possibly before COVID. So if that's the case, 2018. Well, that's 5 full years ago. Wow. It feels like we've been there sooner than that, but who knows? Time flies by. Well, no more rain, thankfully. It was ever so light. I don't know if the camera picked it up on my helmet or not, but maybe. But the helmet must be dry now. So no longer a 40 zone here, but what is it? Awesome signs there of lack of. Now that's a revenue raiser. I wonder if the camera's been picking up Catherine at my rear. She's behind me. She's behind me, Panto style. So holding the revs at 4,500, 60 kilometers an hour in second gear. That is that coming through? Is that coming through now with the visor up? Visor back down. Let's go into third. Beautiful. I've never thought that the quick shifter, people say, oh, it's buttery smooth, the quick shifter. I don't know whether that's because they're actually caning it along and changing gears that way, and maybe that's the purpose of a, well, they're called shift assist on the Triumph, not quick shifters. People all call them quick shifters to quickly shift through the gears, especially if you're caning it. Now I tend to be changing gears at lower speeds, and sometimes it clunks in, and this Rally Pro, as much as I do like it, I like the looks of it, I do like being even higher up on this bike compared to the GT Pro. It's not as fluid and as smooth to ride as the GT Pro, this one. This is more off-road bias. There's a difference. There is a difference. The bike is more vibey. Most definitely more vibey. The mirrors, as much as the GT Pro mirrors were not very good as well, these do vibrate more. And I've had to buy some bar end weights just to take some of the vibrations out of the handlebars. Alright, we're about 5 minutes away from Carl and Angie's, and time being 3:30, so we're not doing too bad for time. I did say about 3:30, so we're not on a fixed appointment, let's say. Alright, we're on 50 kilometers an hour here. Let's just drop back a bit. Let's have the visor up again. Just give me a bit of air. It's very muggy, humid, and just to get a feel again of what it sounds like with the visor up. So we have a little less wind blowing, and we have some, not much, but some protection. In fact, probably not as much as previously when it was windy, so I'd say there's less. It's mixed. It's semi-protected here from the sand dunes, from the wind. The wind is blowing down the road a little bit, but not much. Now there was a blast of wind just then, so did that ruin the audio? I don't know. I do now. Hopefully I can't see it. Hopefully the mic is attached to the magnet for my DJ Pocket 2. Otherwise it's dropped into my jacket somewhere. Now I can feel it's just there, so the mic, yeah, I can feel the magnet there. So this may be the way to go. Quite streamlined, quite straightforward. Yes, I'm not burning the audio straight into the video. I don't tend to do that anyhow. You get a lot of potentially excessive road noise. Yes, I can manipulate that in Final Cut Pro, but I seem to prefer just recording audio separately. It's not hard to resync or sync it up, so if this is good for me, then Catherine will have use of my F2 field recorder, and then I will more than likely then just sell the other two external recorders that I bought, the Zoom ones. They're awesome little recorders, lightweight, and do a great job. I think they're about $160, $180 a pop, brand new, which I did buy them both brand new. What sort of price would I sell them at? About 100, to be dropped down to about 90, 80, I don't know. Everybody wants a bargain. We are maybe 2 minutes away from Angie and Carl's now. Not far at all. Catherine has caught up, she's not far behind me. Alright, a nice bit of wind coming in. So hopefully for this test, it's very nearly finished. I've known a long time ago whether it's any good, obviously, but for this video audio test with the DJI Mic 2, utilising the Hammer laptop microphone, hopefully it's a win. I'm quietly confident. One more roundabout, that's a fair bit of whistly air coming through there. Did it come in? Did it come in and destroy that audio? Alright, we're on a lefter here. Righter. I used to say to Catherine, there's always a car coming along here, but it's actually not that bad. It was clear. Catherine just turning now onto this street. Fair bit of wind coming in now to the helmet. So about 30 seconds away from destination.